Imagine a world where global conflict is unfolding right before our eyes, where superpowers are on the verge of a direct confrontation, and the future seems uncertain. But what if one of the most significant wars in history had been avoided by a thin thread of hope? What would have happened if the USA and Iran, two powers with completely opposing ideologies, had gone to war? The relationship between the USA and Iran has been marked by constant tension, filled with historical moments that could have easily resulted in full-scale military conflict. Yet, for various reasons, war was avoided, though not always through peaceful means. Today, we'll explore 5 historical moments that almost led to war between the USA and Iran, and the impact those events had not just on the politics of both nations, but on the global balance of power. And if you think the tension between these two powers is recent, get ready to be surprised, because this story began much earlier than you think. Before we dive in, if you're passionate about our country's history, the events that shaped our freedom, and the impact that the USA has had on the world, then you know what to do. Like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any episodes, because we're just getting started on uncovering the most epic moments in American history. And don't forget to comment below. Which of these moments do you think could have irreversibly changed the course of world history? Let's discuss together at the end of the video. Now let's begin our journey, starting with the first critical moment that set the stage for decades of tension between the USA and Iran. It all started with a revolution that seemed small at first, but would end up reshaping the Middle East forever and profoundly affecting relations with the USA. In 1979, Ayatollah Khomeini led an Islamic revolution in Iran, overthrowing the Shah Mohammad Pahlavi, who had been a close ally of the USA. The Iranian Revolution wasn't just a regime change, it was a dramatic shift in international relations. Iran, now an Islamic theocracy, became seen by the USA as a direct threat. The oil embargo imposed by Iran and its support for militant groups, like Hezbollah, further escalated tensions. At that moment, the USA was at a crossroads. With rising protests against American interests, the risk of direct confrontation seemed imminent. What if Iran had directly attacked American interests? What would have happened if the revolution had been more violent, leading the USA to military intervention? In November 1979, tensions reached a boiling point with the hostage crisis. Iranian militants stormed the U.S. Embassy in Tehran and took 52 Americans hostage, holding them for 444 days. This event not only exacerbated anti-American sentiment in Iran, but also sparked a wave of outrage in the USA, creating an environment where war seemed like a real possibility. President Jimmy Carter faced immense pressure to act. What few people know is that this crisis almost led to direct military intervention by the USA in Iran. The Eagle Claw operation, a failed rescue mission, showed the world that the USA was willing to fight for its citizens' freedom. Imagine how the world would have changed if the rescue had escalated into an all-out conflict. The dynamics of the Middle East and the relationship between the USA and Iran would have been forever altered. In the years following the Iranian Revolution, Iran began providing military and financial support to militant groups across the Middle East, with the most notable being Hezbollah in Lebanon. Iran's backing of Hezbollah fueled a cycle of violence that directly involved the USA, especially in incidents like attacks on U.S. embassies and the bombing of the Marine barracks in Beirut in 1983, which killed 241 American soldiers. This was one of the tensest moments, where the USA considered a direct military strike on Iran in retaliation for its hostility. If the USA had decided to act with more force, an all-out war between the two countries could have easily ensued. Yet, once again, diplomacy prevailed, but at the cost of numerous lives and resources. What would have happened if violence had escalated into direct conflict? And if Iran's support for Hezbollah had been used as justification for full-scale military action? During the Gulf War, Iran found itself at the heart of the Middle East military dynamics. While Iran didn't directly participate in the war, its strategic position and its relationship with Iraq were key factors in the conflict. Iran saw the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait as an opportunity to expand its influence in the region. The USA, on the other hand, was committed to protecting Kuwait's interests and ensuring the security of the Persian Gulf. A potential alliance between Iran and Iraq, or even direct Iranian aggression, could have led to the USA confronting Iran head-on. However, once again, diplomacy and careful military action from the USA helped prevent a full-blown war. What would have happened if Iran had directly engaged in the Gulf War? The conflict could have easily expanded into a full-scale war involving world powers. Fast forward to the modern era, and the 2015 nuclear deal between Iran and world powers, including the USA, was one of the most significant diplomatic moments. The agreement aimed to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons, a prospect that deeply worried the USA and its allies. However, the unilateral withdrawal of the USA from the deal by President Donald Trump in 2018 reignited tensions, and brought the world to the brink of war. Iran responded aggressively, with attacks on oil tankers and military operations in the Strait of Hormuz, a vital shipping lane for global oil trade. Once again, the USA and Iran were on the verge of war. The world feared that military conflict was imminent, as both sides exchanged threats. What would have happened if Iran had moved forward with its nuclear program unchecked? The scenario would have been entirely different, and war could have been inevitable. The relationship between the USA and Iran is undoubtedly one of the most complex in modern history. From the Iranian Revolution to the recent tensions surrounding the nuclear deal, these moments have shown just how close the world has come to full-scale war between these two nations. And the question that remains is, what could have happened if any of these moments had turned into an all-out war? Now it's over to you. Like this video if you believe the history between the USA and Iran is one of the most fascinating and impactful in international politics. Subscribe to the channel for more intriguing stories that shape the world we live in. And comment below, which of these moments do you think posed the greatest threat to world peace? Would war between the USA and Iran have been inevitable, or was diplomacy truly the best solution?